As a longtime fan of the Marvel Universe, it's always exciting when two iconic characters team up for a cinematic adventure. But when those characters are Deadpool and Wolverine, well, that's when things get interesting. The latest teaser for Deadpool and Wolverine 2024 promises to be a thrilling ride full of action, humor, and a healthy dose of nostalgia. Let's dive into what makes this teaser so interesting and what we can expect from this highly anticipated film. Well, let me start with the actual names of the movie, which are the two lead characters. Deadpool, portrayed by Ryan Reynolds, has become a favorite in the MCU due to his humor. He tends to break the fourth wall and excessive lethal capacity. After Reynolds got his claws on Deadpool in 2016, he broke down the spirit of the anti-hero with humor and violent vengeance to match. On the other hand, this movie introduced the character of Wolverine, played by Hugh Jackman, who already has a history connected to him. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine was first seen in X-Men in 2000, and the character was brought into the limelight by various men of the superhero genre. Wolverine is quite popular due to his claws and healing factor, and although he appears to be rough around the edges, he does have a compassionate side. The teaser implies that the two companies are going to collaborate, while the audience could not expect it for ages. Deadpool and Wolverine are two extremely different personalities regarding personality. Deadpool's reckless humor, while Wolverine is pretty serious, but they make the perfect team. This should be bound to produce some interesting moments on the screen. The teaser is similar to any other Deadpool film, as Deadpool opens the teaser portion with comedy, but also with a sense of warning. He confirms knowing that fans have been waiting for such a partner, and this is not just a movie, it's an occasion. The conversation also relates to Deadpool's appreciation of Wolverine, even if the latter gives an impression as if he couldn't care less. To those more familiar with the Marvel Universe, certain visuals such as the refrigerator and Deadpool making references to characters such as Scott or Cyclops, Storm and Beast lend the film more substance and teases at the world, which for an offshoot of this movie exists. The premise appears to be in a world of chaos. Deadpool narrates the world where Wolverine was a hero, and he is now seeking help from Wolverine to save that same world. This feeling of urgency confers to the teaser the strong value, which brings to one's mind a simple and powerful question: what is really at stake here? From what the audience can discern, the plot is about some global calamity that endangers Deadpool's known universe and potentially the multiverse. Deadpool and Wolverine are forced, or rather dragged into the situation, perhaps not by their own volition, to face this gloom. The teaser depicts that many people's lives depend on them, and although Deadpool is assured of Wolverine, the latter looks less certain. Adding to this, there is a line that Wolverine says, "Whoever you think I am, you've come to the wrong person." Is this Wolverine or is it not? What has happened to him? Or is there something new with him? Such a question is raised and it remains unanswered, which forms the core of a teaser that will clearly show that Wolverine is not in his best state, and that aspect will be the focus of this movie. Odd two clues are a photograph with only 9 people, but they are Deadpool's people. But who are these 9? Could this mean that Cable and the women are the only people left in Deadpool's universe? Are they the newly established X-Men, or a set of characters that we have not met in the X-Men television series? This small detail raises several possibilities and makes us wonder which dynamics the sports team of the film will have. Of course, it wouldn't be a Deadpool movie without humor. The teaser has a lot of this, soaking our appetite on what usually is associated with Deadpool, the sarcasm, and even the mimic firing sound of the gun. Pew pew pew! The humorous moments mixed with the themes of violence and darkness are what keep the viewer interested. But wait, do not be fooled. This is a comedy movie, but it has a message to pass across. The fight scene should be dynamic, and some of them could be brutal because Wolverine will be using his claws and Deadpool will be using his guns. From their previous appearances in the movies, one should anticipate great fight sequences, intense fights to the death, and possibly appearances of other Marvel superheroes. It is obvious that Canadian Ryan Reynolds and Australian Hugh Jackman are the main performers to look out for. But the main actors and other cinematographic equipment cannot go unnoticed as well. The movie is directed by Shawn Levy of Free Guy and the Adam Project fame, which stars Reynolds, and thus expects some action, comedy, and much-needed drama. Levy is a director well known for blending epic and spectacular elements with the viewer's focus being on characters, precisely what a movie such as Deadpool and Wolverine requires. The film screenplay by Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, who also wrote the first two parts of the Deadpool series, continues the legacy and at the same time reinvents the genre. Reports are coming of other familiar actors reprising their roles possibly from the X-Men series or even the greater MCU. Whether these are just cameos or form part of the plot only remains to be seen, but then again, they are something to freak out over. As a classic example, when moving on to what is newly introduced, one should take a moment to consider where these characters have been. Deadpool started his crusade in the movie named after the character in 2016, which could be distinguished by the fresh air from other movies on the superhero theme. Whether it is R-rated humor, fourth wall breaking, or over-the-top violence, Deadpool was hailed as a masterpiece, and its box office success cannot be denied. The sequel, Deadpool 2, followed the same path, taking audiences to new locations, meeting new characters such as Cable and Domino, and revealing new sides of Deadpool's universe. Wolverine has the cinematic history of the series even longer than that. Since X-Men in 2000, the Australian actor Hugh Jackman defined the character of Wolverine. The character has featured in so many films, but one of the best was Logan in 2017. Logan was an acclaimed movie that delivered a gloomy and suitable finale to Wolverine, or at least fans of the character thought so. This new film is provocative because Wolverine seems to be pulled out of retirement. Shroud of mystery with regards to how he comes back, this is not the Wolverine that is seen in Logan. The teaser suggests something else may be in store for Wolverine, which includes, but is not limited to, examining the facets of redemption that hero types bear. Thus, in future seasons of Marvel's Cinematic Universe, what can we expect? Deadpool and Wolverine being prepared for cinema release, it can be seen that Marvel is experimenting with its narratives. This is why this movie can be viewed as a transition from one lexical field to the other by mixing motifs of the X-Men universe and the MCU in general. One of these might be the setup for mutants entering the MCU, something that many fans are waiting for. With the multiverse now taking place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this could be the ideal time to introduce characters like Deadpool and Wolverine into this multiverse. But there is also the problem of what happens next for Deadpool and Wolverine. Could this be their swan song, or might this film be the first chapter in a long, fascinating future for these characters? I think as a fan, what we have here is one of the more memorable team-ups in the MCU in two characters who are built up to be important but finally making their debut together. So what do you think? Tell us in the comments and subscribe to our channel for more thrilling content like this. And thanks so much for watching.